It doesn't have to be him.
You say that, right? But like this is kind of his thing, Like I know he's gonna be really good at this because like he is really good at this when we have conversations. It's just he's in parts unknown. I don't even know if he'll want to do it with the big time difference and everything.
I don't even know if where he is has Wi-Fi.
Well, he's here. Should we ask him about it?
Why not?
Yo.
What's up, fuckers?
How's Parts Unknown going for you?
Oh, I'm literally in a cave that barely has windows, as you can see. So, fuck you guys very much for sending me here.
Well, you're welcome. The Devoid has gone well with you being in Parts Unknown. It's really been helping the channel a lot. Actually, your work in Parts Unknown.
It's been a lot less vulgar. We've actually made some progress on getting monetized.
Yeah, we actually we have a partnership with Nickelodeon coming up, but it's all on hush hush. Sure. So keep that on down low. We're a family friendly podcast now, but
yes, Kung Fu Micah is coming soon to a theater.
What the fuck is that?
It's Kung Fu Micah. It's Micah, but Kung Fu. The name is
obvious. I never signed off on this.
It's Kung Fu Panda, but Micah.
It's not directly you. We're just using your likeness. You signed the contract.
I didn't sign anything.
This is not what we're here for.
I
have a pitch for you to be on a show.
You are a bitch to me.
Okay. I don't have to. You're right. It doesn't need to be. Nope. No, it needs to be him. It needs to be Micah.
It has to be.
Fantasy booking. Yin?
Do I legally have to?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Devoid Wrestling. And this is a very special episode of Devoid Wrestling because we are introducing to you all the Devoid Fantasy League. Now, that name might sound a little interesting, but it's not really like fantasy sports. That's what I would think right away. It's not. It's fantasy booking. So, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, we could not do this show with just two people. And honestly, despite the fact that I hate his guts, there is no other better person to be on a show about fantasy booking. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast, Micah. Micah, how are you?
Please just leave me alone.
Okay, cool. So the idea of this show is that we are going to be
in a week.
Every other Devoid Wrestling podcast, between reviews, you will get a week of fantasy booking content. We will each have our own shows and our own rosters that we will come up with storylines for, and we will book week to week. For ourselves, we can book 6 segments. A segment could be either a match or a video package or any sort of segment. And we're going to have a draft, too. For the draft, just so you guys know and aren't going to be like mad at us for not choosing your favorite indie wrestler, we are selecting from talent from WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Impact as our main roster pool. And in addition to that, each of the people here will get one indie pick that they can have on their show. One singular pick from the independent scene. Are you guys excited?
I'm that excited.
You're that excited?
I'm dropping pencil shavings excited.
It is in fact D&D dice. How we are going to decide who goes first in the draft order for this draft. I have here a D12 dice. If it rolls a 1 through 4, I will go first. If it rolls a 5 through 8, James will go first. And if it rolls a 9 through 12, Micah will go first. And then from there, we will go in clockwise order rotation for draft picks from there.
Well, it'd be this way.
It'll be. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's a clock. Remember clocks, Derrick?
I don't remember clocks actually. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the dice roll. Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
The number is 2. Therefore, I will go first.
This seems rigged.
I can.
He could have said any number.
It is 2. In fact.
He moved it to that number, ladies and gentlemen. You're being robbed.
I thought you wanted to be on the podcast again. Anyways, I will go first. And ladies and gentlemen, my first draft pick. It could be nobody else, but the next generation of wrestling from the greatest wrestling family of all time. My first draft pick is NXT's own Braun Breaker.
I love that pick.
I don't know who that is.
Rick Steiner's kid.
I know who that is.
Man, he looks really nice.
You want a friend? Go get a dog. That's all I have to say. James, you may now make your first draft pick.
My first draft pick. Okay. If I'm going with my first pick, I want to have a little bit of veteran presence to lead this company for the first few years. And there's a few guys that could do that. But I don't think anybody could do that better than the phenomenal AJ Styles.
James's first pick is AJ Styles. Well done. That's a great pick, James. Honestly,
I feel like he could carry the company on his back, and I want him to have a chance at the Kenny role. Really.
Yeah, that's very fair. Micah, who's your first?
I
pick?
too am going first out with a bang. Because my first pick is Kazuchika Okada.
Kazuchika Okada. Ooh.
Wow.
God, talk about best wrestlers in the world. No one else but Kazuchika Okada, really.
Yeah,
Okada's
Braun
world.
Breaker, AJ Styles, Kazuchika Okada, same kind of legacy.
All right, my next pick. I too want a veteran like James to sort of be there and help support the younger stars that I want to build. So I figured no better person than AEW's own Bryan Danielson. So my next pick is Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. So to counteract the veteran leadership, I need someone younger to come in, and I really want them to be good on the mic, and they can be a pretty good wrestler, but they really need to have their character down. And I don't think anyone in AEW has their character down better than MJF. So that's who we're going to be going with this next pick.
Hell yeah. That's a pick right there. That's a good steal. He was on my list. He was for sure on my list. Cool. Micah, who is your next draft pick?
Well, this is tough. Because I could go the smart route. But I think I need to prove how serious I am. Because I also need veteran leadership. I need a ring general. So I'm picking Walter.
Ooh, wow. All right, Okada and Walter. That's oof. That would be such a good match. I'd pay a lot of money to see that match. My next draft pick, I wanted to get out there. I wanted to get some guys from New Japan because I didn't want it to be just like guys from the US and everything. So my next draft pick is one of the best, if not the best, in Japan today. My next draft pick is Kota Ibushi.
Wow. Yeah. So to be honest, I don't really know what this company needs right now, but I feel like we cannot go wrong choosing this next person. because with this next pick, I just want someone that's had some pedigree. I want someone that's been around the indies. I want someone that has had to go through some changes and kind of reform their character for the better, you know? So that is why I will be taking Drew McIntyre.
Ooh, you got the big Scottish guy. Micah.
I was gonna say a really bad joke. Well, I can't believe I'm the first one to pick a woman, but I am going to pick the boss, Sasha Banks, as my third pick. I think I need my women's division is legitimately going to be the best in the world, and I think Sasha Banks is currently the best woman.
I disagree because I think my women's division is going to be the best in the world, and I think my next pick reflects that. I am picking the toughest woman in all of wrestling, probably. Of course, I am picking Shayna Baszler as my next draft pick.
All right. Well, if we're going to do this, my pick will be... It's between two people right now. Yeah. We'll go with Ruby Soho. Why
Ooh.
not?
That destination is no.
It was between her and Britt Baker, and I said, you know what? Ruby Soho is just a little bit more intriguing as a character.
That is quite fair. Micah, who is your next draft pick?
Well, you guys picked a couple young people, but you know, to reel in a fish, you need a hook. So my next pick is Hook.
Oh, you suck. Just because I wanted Hook. I was gonna pick Hook.
I feel like every promotion needs Hook. If every promotion had Hook, they would be a better promotion.
My next draft pick, I want to build my mid card around guys who haven't really gotten that much of a chance, but really deserve to. So my next draft pick is the guy who I think is the most underrated wrestler today. The guy who needs to be given that shot because he's so good and he just isn't in that spot. My next draft pick is the former Shorty G himself, Chad Gable.
Yeah. I think when it comes to this company, the most important thing, bar none, is in-ring talent. You just got to be able to perform in the ring. And who better to do that than Finn Balor?
You are correct. Who better?
Somebody next who has their own demons. But he's on some cowboy shit. Because my next guy is Hangman Adam Page.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Where do I want to go for my next? All right. My next pick. I don't want Braun Breaker to be the only guy who's like a second generation wrestler. So my next draft pick, another amazing and promising second generation wrestler, is Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah. We have a lot. We drafted a lot of younger talent recently, so we need a little bit more veteran presence. Just because why not? Brock Lesnar can be thrown into this.
Oh shit. Forgot about Brock.
Because Brock is always just kind of there.
He really is always just kind of there. Micah, who's your next pick? My guy.
Well, it would be on brand for me to pick my childhood best friend, Griff Garrison.
You suck. How did you know what my next pick was going to be?
I'm going to screw everyone.
Well, my next pick, you know, I do have a lot of younger guys, and I think there's an older guy who's not like known as a veteran who I think could also deserve like a good shout. So my next pick is, I think he's going by Harry Smith now. He is in WWE officially, so I can draft him. Harry Smith. The former David Hart Smith.
So with my next pick, guys, I'm going to be going with Just Incredible. No.
Damn.
No, but with my next pick, we need someone younger, a nice character that's really going to round out the roster. And this person is not necessarily like at that level just yet, but I'm hoping they can develop and keep going and get to be like a high mid card, title person. And that would be Sammy Guevara.
Ooh. The current All Elite Wrestling TNT champion, Sammy Guevara, has been chosen. Micah, who is your next pick?
Well, I think my next pick would have to be the current Xavier Woods.
He is currently Xavier Woods. That's right.
Currently, he's Xavier. In the future, he could be King X, but
hopefully,
right now,
in the future, he should be King X.
Right? Isn't King X better than King Xavier? He should just be called King X.
Yeah. My next pick, I like him. Evil Uno. That's my reason for picking him. I like him.
Yeah. Next pick. There's so many different ways to go with this. I think we've gotten a lot of like bigger guys, and I want someone that's gonna be able to like move around the ring when they get older. And I feel like someone that'll be in the company a while is Seth Rollins. I feel like he could add something.
Seth Rollins just moved to Monday Night Raw. Micah.
Cody.
I am so surprised Micah picked Cody Rhodes.
He's just the best, man. He's the best heel in wrestling.
That's very fair. My next pick is someone I also think has a very bright future and think can do a lot of great things, is Dark Order number 10.
For me, this could be a little controversial, I think. But we are actually going to take a second woman to fight Ruby Soho in the women's division. And you know what? Who better than her actual feud right now, Britt Baker DMD?
You said Britt Baker and no one did anything about it. You said her name out loud and we weren't like, maybe we should. Micah, who's your next pick?
My next pick is Thunder Rosa.
The Thunderist and the Rosa-ist of people.
Exactly. Maybe potential future friend of the channel.
Yeah. My next draft pick, I think I'm going to be the first person picking someone from Impact Wrestling. I am picking... No? Micah, did you pick someone from Impact? No. What?
Okada's been on Impact before.
Okay, come on. That's not correct.
If we're going by that, like Drew McIntyre's been on Impact.
That's Drew Galloway. He was Kazuchika Okada on Impact.
Actually, he was Okato on Impact. He was not Kazuchika Okada. He was, in fact, Okato.
Actually, he was that on TNA.
Okay. I think I'm actually drafting the first Impact person, but I am drafting the current Impact Wrestling X Division champion, Josh Alexander. Or actually, no, he's not the X Division champion. He's the current number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. He recently cashed in option C. James.
All right. I'm gonna go with someone that's been performing at a pretty high level for quite some time. Not exactly an up and comer, but I think if they were put in a main storyline, I would really want them to have some progression, like as a character. Um, but I really think Randy Orton could have something to say in this new company.
Randy Orton. Randall Keith. Micah.
Someone would be very upset if I didn't pick him, so I'm gonna pick All Ego, Ethan Page.
Every ego imaginable, Ethan Page. My next pick, we want to strengthen our women's division some, and I think in terms of just the most powerful women's division we could get, you cannot be beat by choosing Rhea Ripley. So my next pick is Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. This next pick, he's not even a wrestler, but he's going to add so much to the company elsewhere that I'm going to pick him in this. Because if you have the Beast, you gotta have Paul Heyman. So Paul Heyman is coming to the company.
Paul Heyman has been officially drafted to James's show. Micah.
Damn,
what are you thinking?
That's really good. But I'm here to screw Derrick. Brian Cage.
Wow, because I definitely had Brian Cage on my list.
Wow.
I actually didn't. My next pick, I don't know if you could tell, but part of my focus, I want to be on really strong, like amateur wrestling backgrounds. And I also want that to be apparent in the women's division. So my next pick is legit Layla Hirsch.
Wow. All right. So we've been drafting a lot of veteran guys, right? A lot of old heads in the locker room. We need some fresh blood, and I'm just trying to think of fresh blood, and who better for fresh blood than Darby Allin?
Ooh. Former All Elite Wrestling TNT champion Darby Allin. Okay.
This is going to be a controversial pick, but legally, he is on one of these rosters, so I am picking Gable Steveson.
Oh my God, he is on the Raw roster. So Gable Steveson is in fact going to be on Micah's show. My next pick, I will be the first one to use my independent wrestling pick. This is someone who has been in WWE previously, someone who is a former WWE Cruiserweight champion, someone who's a former #1 contender to the WWE Tag Team Championships, and someone who is the realistic guy in the room. My next pick is Enzo.
That's a great pick for the Indies.
I would go with Ryback, but I don't want him to upset him too much.
Oh, that makes it tempting. Not this round. With my next pick, I'm gonna go with someone that is, I would say, fairly younger. They're not like old yet, but it's someone that's been very underrated and deserves a much bigger push and a much bigger character than what they've been given, which is not the case with a lot of guys on the roster right now. So with this next pick, Keith Lee is coming over.
Oh, man. Keith Bearcat Lee has been selected by James. Micah.
I'm going to play politics with Derrick a little bit. because I could screw up his plans. I know what his next pick probably could be. I could really screw with him.
Joke's on you. Big Cass is not on any show.
Yeah, yet. But I could pick Kaz XL. And it would really
No,
screw
actually,
up
you could pick W. Morrissey.
He's not Kaz XL?
No, he's W. Morrissey in TNA. He's a singles guy.
Oh,
This is
word.
his name. He's actually pretty good.
Well,
like his run in Impact has been good.
I could pick him, and it would probably screw up a plan of yours. Am I wrong?
I mean, like, no, but you will not have been the worst foiling of my plans this draft.
Is picking Hook already?
No, it was James picking MJF.
But I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. So you remember this. You remember this because I'm going to pick the best bout machine, Jey Uso.
Wow.
That's very funny. As a reminder, Kenny Omega has not been drafted yet. And my next pick, well, I mean, he is 7 foot tall. And you cannot teach that. My next pick is W. Morrissey, the former Big Cass.
Wow. Enzo, you could run with that. You could run with that, dude. Okay. My next pick, I don't know how this man has not been selected. And it's not Kenny. It's not Kenny.
There's so many other people that should have been chosen by now.
So
Hook got chosen over Kenny Omega. I'm just putting it out there.
Wardlow. No. But you guys understand that when I'm not doing this, I work produce. And as a man of produce, who better than freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy?
Ooh, freshly squeezed, like that good orange juice. Micah,
like that good Sunny D.
Hell yeah. Micah, who's your next pick?
Like James, my next pick is not a wrestler, but somebody who will be very helpful in the future. So my next pick is the Invisible Hand, Don Callis.
Oh, very interesting. My next pick is someone that I believe is one of the best wrestlers around today. And I think he is the better half of his tag team. My next pick is Nick Jackson.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah. I like that selection. To be honest, I didn't really think about what this pick would be. So I think I am just going to go with one of the Lucha Brothers, whichever one is better.
You have to pick one of. You have to like say a name.
One of the Lucha Brothers.
You have to say a name.
All right. Let's figure out who they are. Okay.
Did you watch AEW?
Let's go with El Cero.
Penta.
El Cero.
James has chosen Penta El Cero Miedo. Micah, would you like to pick the correctly named The Other Lucha Brother?
Ray Phoenix is famously the other one. No, I actually want to pick somebody that nobody has picked yet.
Good.
That would be good.
That would be smart.
Yeah. Though he is the best in the world, CM Punk.
Okay, interesting. My next draft pick comes to us from the world of New Japan Strong. He is Jonathan Gresham.
Wow. All right. As tempting as it is, I'm not going to go with Kenny just yet. Going to go with someone that's kind of close to him, though. And that's going to be the Wild Fang himself, John Moxley.
Ooh, I can't sing that song. We'll get demonetized. Micah.
Dang, that's a really good pick because he was on my list. But I think I need to go to the land of the extreme because I too need I need a heavy hitter. This is tough. Brandy Rhodes.
Okay. Wow. Wow. And you said World of the Extreme. I think I immediately knew who you were going to pick, and I'm surprised you didn't pick that person.
Maybe you can pick that person.
I can't. If it's the person I'm thinking of. By the rules, I can't. My next draft pick is someone from the NXT Tag Team division. It is one Brutus Creed.
All right.
Not that guy, Mike.
With my next selection, well, how many people are we at right now, Micah? Because at this point, I'm trying to think about how I'm going to give everybody TV time.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This will be your 17th pick.
17th? All right. I'll probably stop picking around 20, but that's fine. Let us... Honestly, I'm not going to go with Big E, but I am going to go with Kofi. Kofi Kingston is coming. I want Kofi to shine again, have him be his own solo guy.
Oh. All right. Micah, who's your next draft pick?
Well, there's a reason that he's won the Devoid Wrestling Podcast Best Promo Wrestler for the past couple, because I'm picking Eddie Kingston because he is a god.
That is very true. I'd like to point out, collectively, we've chosen 51 wrestlers so far, and none of us have chosen the WWE Champion, the Universal Champion, the All Elite Wrestling World Champion, the Impact Wrestling World Champion, or the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, or the NXT Champion. Anyways, my next pick is none of those people. It's the other Creed brother, Julius Creed.
Yeah. My next pick. Okay. It makes no sense, but I'm taking this guy because I feel like he could be the head of whoever joins him from a storyline perspective, and that would be Broken Matt Hardy.
Oh, God dang it, James. That's a good choice. It's a very good choice. It messes up some of my plans. Micah.
Up next is Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, he was also on my list. Ladies and gentlemen, I would officially like to pick the first world champion. I am selecting as my next pick the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Christian Cage.
Christian Cage. Wow. That was gonna be one of mine at some point. All right, coming up on I think 19 right here. We got two left. So, honestly, you guys know me. You know I don't follow wrestling a ton. So while this isn't technically an indie pick, this is about as indie as it's gonna get for me. And
that's fair.
with my 19th pick, just for the memes, we're gonna bring in Matt Cardona.
Ooh.
And we may or may not have him use his old moniker. We'll see what happens.
That's super indie. What are you talking about? He's
Matt Cardona, a contracted member of Impact Wrestling. So if that's not an indie pick, you could still make an indie pick if you wanted to.
I could. I very well could.
Micah.
Legally, he is the New Japan IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Will Ospreay.
Oh wait. I mean, legally he's not. That's the bit. Is that legally
he's
not
the lineal champion. He is the lineal champion.
My next pick, he was a 47-year in the WrestleMania main event. My next pick is Edge.
Wow. Okay. All right. If you guys want to battle the legality of this pick, I'm okay with that, but I'm just throwing it out there just to see if it can happen. I'm going to go with another person like Paul Heyman, like just a strictly non-wrestling character, but someone that hasn't really done that role. But that's what I bring them in for. And after watching WrestleMania 30, between Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan, The Rock blew them both out of the water. So I want to bring in The Rock, but he wouldn't wrestle. He wouldn't wrestle, and the stipulation would be he would never be able to wrestle because that's just too much.
I dig that. I think that's fine.
If he never, I think like if he's allowed like maybe a match, like
yeah,
I know
he
that
can
like
he can have like a match in like a storyline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has like one, like he's not allowed to have like like it can be like part of a program and stuff.
Yeah,
he could have like one match at the big stage, whatever the big TV is gonna be. Okay.
Yeah. So your next pick is
last
The Rock.
Pick of the draft.
Yeah, it's The Rock.
Pick of the draft is The Rock.
No,
Nice.
my last pick. The last pick. What do they call him in the NFL draft? It's Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant.
So the Mr. Irrelevant, the 60th pick in the inaugural Devoid Fantasy League draft is my indie pick, Daniel Garcia.
Oh, that's so good. So,
What a great last pick.
just to go over each show's roster. For my show, you will be seeing the following people: Braun Breaker, Bryan Danielson, Kota Ibushi, Chad Gable, Shayna Baszler, Brian Pillman Jr., Harry Smith, Evil Uno, Dark Order number 10, Josh Alexander, Rhea Ripley, Layla Hirsch, Enzo, W. Morrissey, Nick Jackson, Jonathan Gresham, Brutus and Julius Creed, Christian Cage, and Edge. For James' show, we have a roster of AJ Styles, MJF, Drew McIntyre, Ruby Soho, Finn Balor, Brock Lesnar, Sammy Guevara, Seth Rollins, Britt Baker, Randy Orton, Paul Heyman, Darby Allin, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, one of the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero Miedo, John Moxley, Kofi Kingston, Broken Matt Hardy, Matt Cardona, and The Rock. And Micah's roster consists of Kazuchika Okada, Walter, Sasha Banks, Hook, Hangman Adam Page, Griff Garrison, Xavier Woods, Cody Rhodes, Thunder Rosa, Ethan Page, Brian Cage, Jay Uso, Gable Stevenson, Don Callis, CM Punk, Brandy Rhodes to the top, Eddie Kingston, Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, and Red Death Daniel Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, check back in a few Devoid Wrestling's time for the first ever week of our shows for the Devoid Fantasy League. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Devoid Podcast, on Instagram at specifically Devoid. Do not forget also that we are up on Pro Wrestling Tees. That's right. If you go to the Pro Wrestling Tees website and you head to the podcast section and scroll down to find the Devoid store, we have 3 shirts that are currently up. We have the logos and also a special Micah is Toxic shirt. Because it's true, you're toxic. We got to make money off of it, right? That way it's a little less toxic. Anyways.
Yeah, Micah, look, love you. If we're going to keep you around, we're going to have to monetize your toxicity on some form.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's exactly that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've been me. You've been you. We'll see you next time.